Gumtree pulling through for the first time in a very long time, and better yet, I even got to barter the price down, which I can't remember doing since, well, this all started. Which is great for you guys that are starting this game, but also work 50 to 60 hours a week and can't spend all day on the blower. Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's Simon on my way to go and pick up another great deal. I'll show you the listing here. You can have a look at a few of the images. We've got a few tailor-made clubs, woods, rescues. We've got some Mizuno irons. We've got a lovely Odyssey putter, bag, travel bag. These are the kind of lots that I love, where people are just like, empty the garage. I don't want it anymore. I just want someone to pick it up, pay cash, take it away from me, and that's exactly what we're going to go and do now. And then we're taking it back to Sanford, give them a good look, go and play a few holes with them, and then have a bit of a talk through. But this is the first time I've actually been able to use Gumtree successfully, and it's a bit of hit and miss, Gumtree, but I definitely would keep it on your guys' radar. Facebook is just so saturated with people just looking for golf clubs, deals, everything. You have to be there within the first 10 minutes for anything to be worthwhile to have a look, otherwise it's gone and people already got there. Whereas Gumtree doesn't necessarily have that same kind of audience or as many people looking. So you're not going to get as many people listing on it, especially with like clubs that are worthwhile. Like normally it's just very old clubs, like 30, 40 years old. But occasionally you do get a good deal, and you don't necessarily have to be there within 10 minutes. This one I found 40 minutes later, probably could have been up there for a good couple hours, maybe even a day, and it was listed for 250. And then I even cheekily went, would you do 220? And John, the gentleman I'm going to pick these up from now, said he's in a good mood. And he said, yes, I'll do 220. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. So let's go and get them, as I say, a few bits and bobs here, accessories, golf bags, and then I'll go through the prices of what each one's worth, and then let's go and play golf. Guys, if you like this video, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. Okay, boys and girls, clubs very much picked up. As I said, comes with a travel bag, and these things are so expensive. I imagine there's a few items in here that I'm not quite sure on the secondary market. These got handed in for free, so I cannot complain. Adidas shoes with boa system. Now brand new, these are 140, 130 easily. I'm not quite sure what the market is on secondhand shoes. That's not something that I've quite dabbled in just yet, but as I say, size 11 Adidas shoes came in free, so I can't complain. And then a full bag of golf clubs. We've got SLDR, we've got TaylorMade burner. I will try and show you a bit better when we get back to Sanford, but I don't want to necessarily get it all out on the street. But we've got Mizuno irons, TaylorMade burner, rescue, SLDR drive. I haven't actually looked in terms of the condition of how good the SLDR is at the moment, but 220 for all of it, can't complain. And no sky marks on the driver, which is always a win. So yeah, pretty good deal. Let's get back to the golf club. I'll get them all out so you can have a good proper look, but not bad. First deal on Gumtree, I would say, is a success. Back at the golf club, and we're going to go through the bag, and these are the bags that kind of excite me, and not many people would be excited about, but it adds up, and I'm going to show you exactly how. I'm going to go through each of the clubs. I'll show you the listings, what recently sold, but again average, and I'll just start tallying up the shoes, the bag, the TaylorMade bag itself, the irons, the putter, the driver, and then all of a sudden £220 worth of golf clubs when you break it down, send it off. This is how I'm going to build that series of that £10 challenge to £2,000 bag. You find stuff that people just have in the garage for the last 10 years, not really interested about, just want to clear their garage, and then you sell it to golfers that just need cheap, reasonable, good equipment, which is exactly what this bag is. Now I did end that statement with cheap, affordable, and I would say this is probably the least affordable driver at the moment for its age and everything else. You've been watching the channel, you know I'm not a fan for the price that it is. 2 years ago, £50 maximum. At the moment, some people 120, 110, 100. If this is your driver and you get on with it, by all means, I am not slating your driver. I'm just saying there's probably better options for the average golfer out there for the price. But £100, £90, £80 easily for this driver. It hasn't got its original head cover, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously I had that custom head cover, but I'm going to sell the custom head cover itself for probably about £10 safely. So £10, £15 for the head cover, £90 for the driver, so £100 we are at the moment, obviously excluding fees and everything else. 3-wood, again, £60 is going to be quite achievable. It has got sky marks, it has got a few scratches, but with a bit of a clean up and a bit of TLC. I mean, the bottom, normally the SLDR badges on the bottom of both these, if they've been heavily used, and obviously I don't think John, he basically didn't have time for the game. He's quit, didn't want to play anymore. He didn't look like he had the time to get out and play it as much. So the bottom of the drivers actually, and wood's actually quite good. Again, burner, £50 for a 5 wood with a decent regular flex shaft. It's just standard, it serves a purpose. And throughout this whole pandemic, there's something that I really love, is that people are just going, you know what, it makes the ball go forward and it makes it go up in the air. So even clubs that are 10, 15 years old are still now getting the love, because they realise that actually there's not too much difference between that and a sim. There's not really that much difference either over the years that have gone by. So we're probably at the £200 total already just with these 3 clubs added up, but there's more. We've got the R7 and the R5 hybrids here. Again, cleaned up, boxed, £40 each including delivery, because people just need decent hybrids, and these were decent hybrids. I'd say R7 was probably the turning point, I would say, for the TaylorMade franchise, where they basically dominated from then on out with the R9 and the R1, and obviously moving on to the SLDR, marketing, tour players, you name it. So again, probably about 40-ish pounds for both of those, in good condition. Haven't got too many sky marks. Got a nice little red saw Vokey wedge. Again, these are quite well sought after, conforming if you look at the wedge rules, but you can still use them currently for amateur play. And again, they're just sought after in general, especially a 52-degree wedge. I'm pretty sure that's not going to last long on eBay. It has got some pitting down the shaft, which is a bit disappointing, but again, beggars can't be choosers. Move on to the Odyssey putter at the bottom of the bag. This is probably about £3,000 looking at Odyssey putters. Odyssey putters in general, especially the white hot ones, are just going for extortionate amount of money. Not as much as the 2-ball, but again, £50, £40, it's got a decent grip on it. I won't struggle to obviously get rid of this. I've kind of lost track of my total at this point. I think I'll just keep the tally in the bottom. You guys can obviously see how much we're up to at this point. Bag, I'm going to say £20 on Facebook Marketplace. Travel bag, I imagine £20 on eBay. Again, decent travel bag. And I think TaylorMade ones go for about 110, 120, especially as you only use it once a year or whatever it might be. And then lastly, the Mizuno irons. Not the most popular Mizuno irons, but these ones are actually in really good condition. Again, 100, 120, I imagine. 4 sound wedge, so you've got a full set there, maybe a tiny bit more on that. But overall, I mean, my math's not great, but I imagine 400. I don't know what my total's at the moment. I might have to correct myself, but 400, maybe 450. And there's nothing really exciting here. It's just about the method of boxing up, putting on eBay, auctioning it, and then posting it, which is the difference. So it's a bit of time, bit of effort, but for you guys that haven't really played much golf or hit many golf clubs, it's a great way to not only build your bag, upgrade your bag, but also get to try equipment. You might hit this R7 Draw 5 hybrid and flush it better than any club that you've ever hit brand new. Therefore, just whack it in your bag. If it works, it works. Might be the burner at the back here. It might even be the SLDR driver that lowers that spin that you've been trying to do with every single driver and wood out there. And so for whatever reason, this regular flex Fujikura shaft and this 9.5 degree SLDR head might just do that for you. You just don't know, guys, until you take it on the golf course. Don't care. I've been a club fitter, I've done many a good club fittings, but taking your clubs out into the course and trying to get them to perform, you will only find out when you're in that situation with a card in your hand, with your mates, on the grass, and it's the best way. And not only can you not lose money doing this, you potentially can make a bit of money doing this as well. Okay, so we're going to go and play a few holes on the lakes. We're not really going to talk that much about the clubs because I've pretty much reviewed all the clubs in this bag at this point. And to be honest, if you've been watching the channel for a while, it's all good equipment. Just like I said at the start of the video, trying golf clubs is the easiest way to learn what golf clubs work for you. Whether it's regular flex, whether you need more loft, whether you don't need more loft. Now, none of us can afford to go and buy a new club every week and hope that it works. And if not, you then have to sell it on at a loss. No one can sustain that. But with this method, you're trying equipment that's close. I'm not saying 10-year-old, 50-year-old clubs are as good as the stuff that have come out this year, but they're close to 94%. Do you know what I mean? And when most of us are playing off 20 or 24 or 26, that 94% is more than good enough. Your technique is going to improve more and give you more distance and better shots and better dispersion than that extra 6% will on new clubs. And what happens if you buy a club, even if you got fitted? What happens if your swing was different on the day? Therefore, this method of just going trying anything, ladies clubs, beginner clubs, blades, steel, extra stiff, just go and try it. And if you don't like it, then put it on Facebook, put it on eBay, put it on Gumtree, and then just move it on either at the same or a bit of a loss. Now I've had to be extremely patient on Gumtree to find a decent deal that basically covers all bases, i.e. within the last 10 years, good value, different variant and pieces of equipment, and also not most of you will be looking for a whole set of golf clubs. But what Gumtree is great for is for the people that can't spend every 20 minutes on their phone, i.e. you have a 9-to-5 job. Unlike myself that can go to the range or teaching and then editing and then in the gym or whatever it might be, it takes me 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I can check Facebook and update it. Is there any good deals? No. Okay, carry on with my day to day. If you can't look for golf clubs until the evening, Gumtree is a perfect place. Now you have to be wary, but then you also have to be wary as you do on Facebook. So I highly advise always collecting and always paying in cash or bank transfer at the point that you're collecting the golf clubs. But it's a great website for you guys that can't spend all day, but you can spend 10 to 15 minutes in the evening just seeing what's been recently listed in the day. I highly believe that this set of golf clubs at £250 would still be, don't get me wrong, £250 for this, good, but not amazing. The fact I got 30 quid knocked off, brilliant, but it would have still been there in the evening for me to then still make that deal, to then for me to still go and pick up those golf clubs. You're not going to have an abundance like you do on Facebook. You won't have so many golf clubs coming through every 10 minutes, but then you don't also have the same competition, which is great for you guys that are starting this game but also work 50 to 60 hours a week and can't spend all day on the blower. One of the clubs I will take out to give a quick review is the MX100s. They're a good player's iron, and because they don't look aesthetically pleasing, I would say that you're getting more for your money. I still think that they're around 100, 120 pound set of irons, but if you're getting a 4 to sand wedge, that's pretty much your full set, especially if you're beginning the game. They're not the best irons, they're not the most forgiving, they're not the most appealing, they don't feel and sound great like a normal Mizuno iron would, but if you're just starting, you're not going to know the blindest bit of difference. Therefore, something like this is something to look out on. Like even the MX25s, the older Mizuno irons, the T-Zoids, they don't look like a beautiful, stunning Mizuno blade, but there's a reason why they're cheaper than the rest. And if you're just trying to cut your teeth and get into the game and want a bit of forgiveness, they're not a bad option for the price. And Ford Sandwich, you're talking £6 a club. So Gumtree is definitely a platform you should be keeping your eye out for. They're doing tons of advertisement that I've seen on Instagram and TikTok, and I feel like they're building awareness. It's just like a free exchange of selling equipment, whether it's clothes, toys, and also golf clubs. And if you're one of the select few keeping an eye on it every now and again, as I say, you don't have to spend every 20 minutes refreshing the page to get lucky. You can just look in the evenings, and we could almost go back to the good olden days like Facebook, where you could see a listing a day ago, 2 days ago, where not only were you the first one to message a person, but you could even barter. Can you believe that? You could even go, I know you've got it advertised for 200, but would you do 170? And 2 years ago, you've got it listed for 200, would you do £40 on it? They were the good olden times, and I'm hoping in a year's time when all stock levels, everything reduces and demand's not necessarily as high, even though I do love the fact that there's so many new people to the game, you guys will be able to build a decent bag for £200 and not 500. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, subscribe if you are new. Catch you guys later.
Morning Tom, hope you're doing well.
Afternoon mate, well done on the lesson. And evening Alan, not a problem at all. And testing the G30s and the afternoon gents, on my way to the lockup. Go pick up the Mura iron.